Fayetteville School District is being sued for libel, slander, infringement on privacy. All this because a school administrator presented a picture of a student in a bikini. Yesterday, in a closed meeting, DeKalb County Superintendent came to an agreement that no more legal fees would be paid until a settlement was reached. Until then, the money saved would go towards schools like Tucker High School behind me. She says she was walking across the parking lot from the Walmart behind me, where she parked right about here, when thieves approached her at gunpoint and sped away in her car in broad daylight. Last night, a man was stabbed in the face and body after leaving an event at the World Changers Church, an event that attracts thousands of people from all over the country. Behind me is the federal penitentiary where just a few weeks ago an inmate escaped. But today, neighbors across the street are just finding out about this. We talked to prison authorities who cannot confirm or deny his claims. In Southeast Atlanta, I'm Wen Lei. A once standing oak tree came down while Brenda Gibson and her roommate were in the basement. Today, crews have been working since 6 a.m. to clean up the mess. He said he was right outside the service entrance of this hotel when the thief reached into his backpack and grabbed his wallet and took off running down Peachtree Street. Police have still not found the man. In downtown Atlanta, I'm Wen Lei. Fayetteville School District is being sued for libel, slander, infringement on privacy. All this because a school administrator presented a picture of a student in a bikini.
I was embarrassed. I was honestly just horrified.
When a photo of Chelsea Chaney in a bikini was taken from her Facebook by a school district director of technology without her consent, she says she felt violated. This photo was used in a Fayette County district-wide presentation on internet safety.
When an adult that you should feel protected under, especially when the school system does that to you, it's just even worse.
The photo was used in a PowerPoint as an example of the embarrassing consequence of posting pictures on social media, titled, "Once it's there to stay."
To take an innocent picture and put it in the context of what the presentation was that night, and to somehow spin that, that she did something wrong.
Chaney's father was in disbelief why his child was chosen. The family says they tried to work with the district to reach a resolution, but were forced to file a $2 million lawsuit.
You want to protect your child, they are your child, and it disbelief that anybody could rightfully or willingly do something like that.
A spokesman for the school system said they would not comment since the case is under litigation, but did say they don't believe the school district has any legal liability. Chelsea has filed this lawsuit in hopes that this doesn't happen to another student. In Fayette County, I'm Wen Lei. Last Saturday's carjacking led to the arrest of 4 teens. I spoke to the victim who recalls her terrifying ordeal. The victim of this incident asked not to be named or shown on camera.
Oh my God, it was so frightening.
The carjacking led to a police chase that started in Peachtree City and stretched all the way to Atlanta. As you can see from the police footage, the stolen vehicle slams into an SUV trying to get away from police and ends when the vehicle crashes into a pole. You can see police mashing the windows to get to the thieves. The incident all started when the victim was leaving a salon in Walmart. She says she was walking across the parking lot from the Walmart behind me, where she parked right about here, when thieves approached her at gunpoint and sped away in her car in broad daylight.
I looked down and I saw the barrel of a gun, and that's when I just threw everything in my car, my keys, cell phone, purse.
She says she was afraid she was going to die. A bystander and her daughter helped her call the police.
I just stood there just shaking and crying, just shaking. I guess I was in shock.
Police have taken 4 teens into custody. They say a 14-year-old drove the getaway car and a 16-year-old drove the stolen vehicle. Despite her ordeal, the victim says she hopes the teens learn a lesson and turn their lives around. In Peachtree City, I'm Wen Lei.
It was intense. It really was. There was a lot of commotion.
After finishing his 12-hour shift, Officer Irwin was on his way home when he heard an emergency medical call at a nearby office building. He turned his car around and raced up the 10th floor.
Front door, there was 3 or 4 people waving me down.
Because of his quick response, he was able to save a man's life with the help of a defibrillator. This portable life-saving box is standard for each officer just as much as their guns. A couple years ago, a Dunwoody resident raised $50,000 to put them in every car.
It's a lifesaver. Had I not had that piece of equipment, I don't think the patient would have made it. I really do.
Heroic businessman Mark Voss was in a meeting when his client fell silent. That's when he knew something was horribly wrong and called 911.
I hit him in the chest and said, "Bob, nothing." And then his head rolled back. His eyes started to roll back in his head.
Both men say they don't even know what would have happened if Officer Irwin did not get there as quickly as he did and if he didn't have the right equipment he had on hand. In Dunwoody, Georgia, I'm Wen Lei. Wellstar hospitals, including this one behind me, are being sued not once, not twice, but on 3 separate occasions for their improper disposal of stillborn babies. In one case, it's alleged that the hospital threw away the remains of a baby as biomedical waste. When the parents of the baby asked the hospital where their child's remains were, the hospital could not give them the location. The family was then forced to hire a lawyer.
No parent ever wants to have to bury a child, but no human ever wants to not have the ability to bury their child.
The parents first chose to get an autopsy to find out the cause of death of their male baby. The hospital reassured them it would not be invasive. The hospital gave them back an autopsy report of a female baby instead with full organ reports.
It's awful. It's just awful.
The hospital then told them their child was cremated and buried under a tree at the Medford Peden Funeral Home. Funeral director Pete Peden said that was a lie.
That's a bunch of bull.
To this day, the family filing suit still does not know where their child's remains are. The hospital released a statement saying they would not comment since the lawsuit is still under litigation. Wellstar is being served its 3rd lawsuit today. Lawyers hope these lawsuits will change the hospital's careless practices. In Marietta, Georgia, I'm Wen Lei. Storms around Metro Atlanta are bringing trees down all over surrounding neighborhoods. Some people were lucky enough that trees missed their house, others not so much. This tree just missed this woman's home by a couple yards. She says she didn't even realize a tree came down.
You know, I didn't feel no joy from the house.
Crews have been called in to remove fallen trees that have knocked over power lines and blocked streets like this one. A once standing oak tree came down while Brenda Gibson and her roommate were in the basement. Today, crews have been working since 6 a.m. to clean up the mess. Brenda Gibson was not so lucky. This tree has destroyed the entire front of her house.
This blood-curdling noise, it's something like I've never heard before. Apparently it was the tree destroying my home.
As we were talking to Brenda, Dorothy Dean, whose father planted the oak tree, drove up to see her old house one last time.
I recognized it immediately, and I thought, just got to see it before it's leveled.
Brenda Gibson now has to decide whether she wants to rebuild her home. Behind me is the Harvest Time Higher Learning Academy, where just a few weeks ago the government had to step in for an emergency shutdown due to allegations of mistreatment of children in their care. One violation states that a child was left unattended in one of the center's vehicles. Other citations, center staff yelled at children, there were unsanitary diaper stations, and exposed nails on the playground. Commissioner of the Department of Early Child Care says the daycare has a long history of violations.
We really stress health and safety in all the work that we do as being the top priority. We're not going to accept anything less.
Government inspectors have also made more than 30 visits to the center within the past 7 years. The commissioner thinks he could have done more.
I think we probably could have acted more quickly in this situation and considering the prior history.
Wanda Porter, owner of the daycare, thinks she was unfairly targeted by the government and says that she even self-reported some of the violations.
I think that I was targeted because they needed a fall guy.
Families in the surrounding area of the center were shocked to hear about the shutdown of the center.
I don't have small children there, but anyone's children takes a village. And so to hear something like that is kind of disheartening.
The owner says she is done with daycare. In Clayton County, I'm Wen Lei. Tonight, Atlanta police are looking for a man they say stole from someone confined to a wheelchair. Richard Theed is a Marine vet who suffers from ALS, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. He says Saturday a man asked him for a cigarette outside the Westin Peachtree Plaza in downtown Atlanta. When he opened his bag to give him one, he says the thief grabbed his wallet and took off.
I think there's a lot of bad karma that you get from stealing from crippled people, and there's a lot. Tell you what, there's a whole lot more good people than bad.
Theed, who is visiting Atlanta, commended police on their quick response. A busy day at Falcons training camp. Laura Williams joins us now with sports. Thank you for counting on Channel 2 Action News, and remember, our team never stops.